Hey everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. In the last one, we did make some other flirty gestures to Dis. I'm not feeling any of our potential romantic options, so we're just going with that one because I kind of went that way from the beginning. But I'm not feeling anyone. I think it's Glow, maybe? So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, yes, so it is Glow. So we have to decide what we want to do for Glow. And then see if, we get, attacked or whatnot. We worked a lot on toughness last time, so we did several of the combat training ones. I'm thinking maybe we should continue in that vein, only because I definitely need to get new cards, and I think going up in these levels would be beneficial for that. Combat and animals. Perception and animals. We don't really need perception right now. Combat and bravery. I'm not sure what toughness brings me. I'm not sure where toughness comes in, because it's maybe this one. I don't really need bravery, though. Because I could work on engineering, but we're not very far on that. I guess let's do... Guard duty was new. Combat and bravery. I guess let's do combat and bravery with the guard duty. Oh, can we? It's weird to see the gates closed during Glow. They're hardly ever closed the rest of the year. Because you're so young, you're usually deployed far away from the gate itself. The animals somehow seem to know it's a weak point in the wall, so that's where the action's going to be. Rhett wants you kids far away from it. Okay, actually not much stuff going on. Okay, so probably 3, 4, 6, 7, and 7. Yeah, see, we need to get rid of some of the low point cards and get more high point cards. We got 4 combat, 2 bravery. You're on duty when you hear the colony's siren begin to sound the alarm. The attack is here. You report to the front and join the line of defenders. Breaking through the tree line is a dark shape, lumbering out of the forest and across the fire bank. No, not one shape, 2. 2 faceless creatures. Let's join the fray. We have bravery. Ooh. The colony prepares to defend itself against the 2 building-scale faceless, as well as teeming swarms of smaller Xeno that seethe towards you. Hold steady, orders Security Chief Rhett. Keep the line. No, Governor Lum yells, running from the front gates to the front of the defensive line. He elbows Rhett out of the way and waves his arm wildly. Bring them closer. Draw them in. Rhett stops himself from shoving Lum back. But just barely, you can tell. Are you serious? He retorts. We can't let them get any further into the colony. We're going to fight them on our territory, Lum cries, raising his plas rifle over his head with one hand. We have the walls. Let's use them. We'll let them come inside and pick them off one by one. We can't pick off a faceless, Rhett sputters from the sidelines. Lum smiles maniacally. You can see the gleam of his teeth from here. I have a plan, he roars. Just follow my lead. And with that, he turns and begins to run towards the approaching animals, roaring taunts and firing wildly into the fray to draw them close. At a loss, Rhett motions you all to fall back and let the animals approach. The area just inside the gates becomes a swirling melee of smaller Xenos and plas rifle fire. The 2 faceless lumbering slowly behind. Let's try to stay out of the way. Oh, it's hard. It's 86. We probably will not have this. Okay. Let's do you. Oh, that's not great. Okay. No, that's not going to be great at all. Because that'll take stuff away. Okay, I guess we'll do you. 6 and 4. That's kind of terrible. Okay. And I have nothing to, like, push through. Oh, see, look how horrid this is. Okay, you... I'm going to change this. Put you here. Put you there. I guess we'll do this. We're going to fail. And there's no way I can... I mean, maybe. We'll see. Okay. 4, 5, 6... 2 and 1. At least we... No, we don't have it. Oh my god. Okay. Add 2 to a card. Okay, let's add 2 to you. Okay, we just barely. Just barely. You're not exactly a professional soldier, but you manage to hold your own against the Xenos, even though you still scream and retreat when something gets too close. You don't injure any humans with your plas rifle, at least. Out of the artillery smoke wafting over the battlefield, Lum comes running. Here they come, he shouts joyfully, and plows through the gates with the 2 faceless galloping behind him. It's without a doubt idiotic and horrendously dangerous. You can't help it. You hit record on your holopalm and film the ensuing chaos. You catch a glimpse of Chief Rhett putting his hand over his face and sighing. A squad of Helio soldiers takes up the charge and helps shepherd the faceless into the open area in the middle of the colony. You have horrible flashbacks to the first time you saw a faceless inside these walls. From the looks on the faces of the other Stratos, you're not the only one. Then you're all thrown to the ground by a tremendous explosion. Fire engulfs the center square, roasting the 2 faceless in an inferno that blasts the sweat from your pores. Rocks and chunks of dirt patter all around you, with occasional thunk of burning mushwood. Those soldiers nearest the blaze all recoil in surprise. Clearly no one but Lum knew that the square had been rigged with explosives. You don't think anyone was caught in the blast, but it was close. Lum stands before the blaze, laughing and firing at 2 tortured faceless as they roast to death. You raise your holopalm to capture the image, his silhouette dark against the column of flame and smoke. It was ridiculously dangerous and stupid, but it does look pretty cool in your recorded footage. People filter out of the hiding places, shielding their faces from the heat coming off the bonfire in the middle of the square. On the horizon, the first watery rays of quiet sunrise are struggling to make a dent in the hot orange glare. The colony's fire suppression system is turned on the square, revealing the charred corpses of the 2 faceless. Utopia walks by with a reclamation team hauling an industrial plas cutter on a hoverlift. Did he use the mining explosives, Utopia says, in awe? Mighty bold of him. Those things will blow a hole in a mountain, or a creature, I suppose. She sighs. Wish you could have saved them from mining. That must have been the last of them, and we sure can't make more. Then she and her crew are out of earshot as they pick their way down the blast crater to carve up the faceless for recycling. Huh. I didn't know we were actually doing colony defense, so fortunately. Fortunately, the colony was well defended. You and the other colonists had been fortifying the defenses, putting security above all else. Tonight's defense was still a resounding, if messy, success. But, if Utopia's right, you don't have any more of those explosives now. You can't just nanoprint unstable molecules like that. What are you going to do during the next attack? Okay. So glow is over. It is early quiet, and it is our birthday, so we are 17. So those are the things that we got during this last thing. So apparently we were down some toughness. Okay. So everyone's looking a little bit different. Tange has some stuff. This guy has some stuff. Let's check on Nami and Dis. There's Dis. There's Cal. Mars. I like Mars's hair. There's Nami. Okay. So I guess we'll check on people's things. Tangent is about to duck back into engineering when you approach. She winces and shields her eyes from the sun. She looks at you miserably, and you notice that her right eye is glowing faintly. My new hollow eye implant, Tange says. Its ghostly glow snaps in and out of existence as she blinks. I seem to be experiencing some unpleasant side effects from it, similar to that of an ocular migraine, Tange confesses. Instance warned me that this level of visual information can be difficult for the human brain to comprehend at first. You agree to follow her into engineering to get out of the sun. It's similar to a holopalm, she explains, still holding her forehead and squinting, but with an infinitely large screen because it projects it directly into the oculus. It used to belong to Dr. Instance, but she passed it down to me to help with my work. I'm sure you'll get used to it soon. Tange sets her jaw in knots, determined. I know I will. It's only pain. It's more than an implant, Tange continues as you follow her to the medbay labs. Hollow eyes are on the very forefront of human augmentation. They represent our next steps towards ascending as a species. She touches the red scar where her hollow palm used to be. No more clunky screens, no privacy concerns, she says quietly. Elegant, integrated design. It observes the motion of my hands and uses it to generate an AR interface for my entire field of vision. It's partly powered by my own metabolism, through magnets embedded in my skull. It's beautiful. Nobody else is here. You hear the gentle hum of experiments running in the corner. This kind of technology is so far beyond what we're capable of reproducing in the colony, Tange sighs, rubbing her temple under the implant. Once they're gone, they're gone. Maybe Earth will send us a shipment of new ones, someday, but I expect they've developed something more advanced since we left Earth. I suppose it's more likely they've forgotten about us completely. Bring, bring! The quiet hum of the laboratory is shattered by an alarm. Tange jumps at the sudden noise and shuts her eyes tight. I have to get this, she mutters, gesturing in the air to silence the ringing. The simulation I'm running is time-sensitive, she explains. The specimens require minute changes to their environment every 2 hours, temperature, humidity, light levels. If we had better automation, this wouldn't be a problem. I could do it. I could help with the migraine. Need empathy 41 or reasoning 41. How about I can help with your migraine? You're in the medbay after all. You rummage around for a bottle of triptans and a cold towel. Tangent grudgingly swallows the migraine medicine and lays down on a medbay with the towel over her eyes. You shake your head. This girl needs to take better care of herself as you apply pressure to her temples. She slowly breathes in and out. After a few minutes, the tension in her face eases. I feel less human now. Thank you, she says with a small smile. She wobbles over to her experiment where she uses the computer to set the environmental parameters for what seems to be some sort of fungal growth comparison. When she finishes, Tange slumps down on the floor in the corner, where it's nice and dark. She folds her arms and lays her head on them. That should buy me 2 more hours. We're not flirting with Tangent. Tange shifts over, wordlessly inviting you to sit down beside her. Her arm is cool to the touch as it rests against yours. Tange turns to you. Thank you for your assistance. It was nothing. Tange gives you a slight smile, barely visible in the faint glow of her hollow eye. Then, thanks for nothing, I suppose, she says. Please don't tell Instance that my body is adjusting poorly to the hollow eye, she adds. It's only temporary. The stupid flesh prison is not allowed to draw the limits of my form. Okay. I do need a break soon, but we're going to talk to people while we're here. We hardly talk to these guys, so let's talk to him. Deeper shirt on. Over the years, a lot of people have started wearing a lot less clothing than you remember from when you were growing up on the climate-controlled stratospheric. Definitely a lot less than the holovids you brought from Earth. Rex, though. Rex has really acclimated to Vertumna's hot, sultry weather. I mean, we could do this, but I don't think it would do much good because we don't have much of a relationship. So, dude, put a shirt on. Are you kidding me, he asks, throwing his arms wide. First, it's hot as balls out here. I work outdoors and, whoo-hee, no joke, I'd take off more if I could. He cranes his head up to the sky. Second, I like the feel of the sun on my skin. After 15 years in a sunless tube hurtling through space, I want to soak in as much as I can. It makes me feel great. Rex laughs and knocks himself into your shoulder. I think our bodies were meant to live this way. Don't even get me started about pants, bud. Okay. And then I thought somebody else had some talking points. Not Cal. I don't think Dis did. May have just been those two. Not Anemone. And Dis was out here, and I didn't see anything either. Okay, so we're going to have to rest. Like, there's not really an option. I guess we could go see what Cal's doing out this way. And relax in the park. We'll do that. Your mother's white Astrantia flowers are flourishing in the garden, and everywhere else, too. They've really taken to something in the soil here. You even see them outside the walls. Something must be carrying their seeds out towards the wilderness. Okay, we are going to get rid of this card. It's your 17th birthday. But it's not just your birthday. Quite as a time of new growth, a celebration of life and hope. Not for just this year, but for humanity's presence on Vertumna for years to come. You and your friends are the symbol of that hope. Quite literally, you are the future of humanity. As you're all beginning to take your places as adults in this colony, the council has decided to throw a party in your honor. The Vertumnan Youth Ball. Mars is organizing it, of course. You get an embossed invitation, on real paper, slipped under your door. I guess I could go. Party. I guess I could go. You slip into some party clothes and head over to the lounge to celebrate. Well, yourselves. And yourself specifically. It is your birthday, after all. The lounge is all decked out. The decorations look expensive. It must have taken a lot of nanoprinter creds. Your friends are transformed, too. Everyone has dressed up and looking like the young adults you're becoming. You can hardly recognize some of them. Mars catches your eye and waves, her bangles jingling joyfully. She looks like a model from her holomags, every inch of her primped, painted, and perfumed. Heather, happy birthday, I'm glad you could make it, she says, over the steady thrum of the music. Drinks are over there, make your song requests to congruence, and take off your shoes. You look down at your boots, then back up at Mars skeptically. She rolls her eyes and does a little bounce. Sock hop, just like Earth, duh. At the refreshment table, Cal is stuffing his face with party food, and Rex shoves 2 glasses of punch in your hands. Gotta stay hydrated, he says, pouring himself another glass. We'll be sweating it out, one way or another, he winks at you. Don't let them fool you, Tangent mutters, joining you. She smeared a glob of something pink and meaty looking on a cracker. It's a well-documented phenomenon that people inexperienced with imbibing alcohol will begin to act as if they're drunk, even if they're completely sober. To Rex, she adds, I mean, of course, that I'm not going to suffer any bad behavior. Rex grins as he pulls a flask out of his vest and pours a healthy addition into his glass. Who says it's going to be an act? Let's get a little loose. Come on, it's a party. The music changes to something with a fast pounding beat. Rex throws his head back and howls. Woo, it's time to dance. Okay, we can dance, sure. You, Rex, and Mars take the dance floor. After a while, Nem follows, pulling Vase behind her. You all dance until it feels like your heart is going to burst, from excitement, from exertion, and from the sheer joy of throwing yourself around the room with your friends. Nami, who's playing DJ with Congruence, spins up something a lot slower, more romantic. Grab a partner and pull them close, they announce dreamily, or whatever distance you both feel comfortable with. Oh, well, we have a dis option, I guess, so let's try it. Everyone giggles awkwardly and shuffles around, feeling the intangible friction of teenage politics. Who dances with whom? Who makes the first move? Okay, let's look for Dis. Dis is standing over by the DJ screen, helping Nami with the song selection. He freezes up when you ask him to dance, stammering an excuse, but Nami gives him a playful shove towards you. Go dance with Heather, they say. I can handle things. Dancing with Dis is a bit of a disaster. Neither of you know where to put your hands, and despite spending the entire song looking at his feet, Dis still manages to step on yours. He holds you rigid-armed and rocks back and forth mechanically until the song, mercifully, comes to an end. Other couples don't seem to have your lack of chemistry. Nem and Vase have skipped dancing and gone straight to sucking face. Dis stares at them for just a bit longer than is appropriate, then blushes and flees the dance floor. After the slow songs, Nami spins Congruence's music library to something with a little more bounce to it. The dance floor once more floods with bodies ready to gyrate the night away. But the tunes are abruptly interrupted by Governor Lum's Hearspeak hijacking the feed. He strides to the stage, flanked by Security Chief Rhett. Everyone on the dance floor whines in unison at having some buzzkill adult stop the music, but Lum just raises his hands and smiles indulgently. Look at all of you, he says, young pioneers. I look at you and I see the future, not just of this colony, but of all humanity. You catch a few people rolling their eyes. You've heard this before. Rhett here, good man, a real good man really, the best of the colony, shared this poem from a great earth poet, Lum continues. Now, I'm not one for poetry myself, but damn if it's not something I want to share with you kids tonight on the eve of something really big. He clears his throat and reads from his hollow palm. We cannot tarry here. We must bear the brunt of danger. We, the youthful Siouanese races, all the rest of us depend. Down the edges, through the passes, up the mountain steep, conquering, holding, daring, venturing as we go, the unknown ways. Pioneers, oh pioneers. We primeval forests felling, we rivers stemming, vexing we and piercing deep the minds within. We the surface broad surveying, we the virgin soil upheaving. Pioneers, oh pioneers. Silently mouth the word boring. We'll applaud politely, sure. Rhett looks a little pained, but Lum continues. What do you think that poem means, kids? He asks. Does it mean we should sit here in our colony, politely waiting for this planet to make space for us? He clenches his fist evocatively in the air. No, he exclaims. It means we need to get out there. We need to grab Vertumna by the balls and make it respect us. He points to you specifically. I need you, the next generation, to lead the charge. This is your planet, and you're old enough now to defend it. I'm asking all eligible fighters to join squads massing at expeditions, to get out there and attack those monsters where they live. We're taking the fight to them. No more hiding behind our walls. To your left, Vase and Nem lead the cheering that erupts. Lum and Rhett leave and the music spins back up again, but only a few die-hard partygoers still want to dance. Everyone else has broken into small groups to discuss the announcement. You are trying not to think about it. Nami puts on a song with a group dance everyone knows, and Rex tries, unsuccessfully, to get the party moving again. People are too stunned to feel the vibe. Eventually, Rex sighs and slings his arm over Nami's shoulders, gesturing you in close too. What a buzzkill, he grumbles, and Nami nods. Now you know what growing up on the Helio was like. You start to feel happy for a minute, and some uniform would come in and ruin it. I thought it would be different here, Nami sighs. Instead, we made you more like us. This sucks. The party fizzles out as everyone drifts away from the lounge. You return to your empty quarters, your birthday forgotten. You've always been told the colony was safe. Now, you know that time is over. Okay. So it's mid-quiet. I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. In the next one, we'll try to get through some of this year. A few people have things to say. It looks like Nami's got some stuff going on. So we will pick that up in the next episode. But that is everything for this time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!